Hello Internet, this is Marko Yamashita. Join me as we begin dissecting how Cover Corporation went from their all-time highs to losing 20% of their market value in just one trading day. Reviewing the trading days leading up to the quarterly report showed that investors had positioned themselves in a waiting pattern, and the market had quietly stacked the deck against the company's performance. But to the casual fan, investor, or shareholder, you wouldn't have known this by simply relying on somebody's TLDR highlight page of the Q3 report. The report itself bundles the Q3's performance with the last 6 months. And while the total and ordinary revenue report hit their marks, the earnings per share exposed the company's weak value, which had been mostly propped up by margin traders and short traders. This provided the catalyst for the massive sell-off because Cover became overpriced when compared to their financial performance. Even when you date things back to the 2024 annual report, their forecasts and subsequent revisions demonstrated that unexpected amounts of increased revenue from merchandise or otherwise could not justify the share price that they were at. Pages 1 through 6 of the investor relations material gives you sales numbers but fails to serve the investor in a meaningful way because they're being sold on huge year-on-year percentiles that are in contrast to the company's performance when they were operating in a recession. While their revenue numbers are indeed larger, they only serve to explain an increase in operating scale, not growth or increased profit. In fact, 86% of every yen received has already been spent before the transaction has been completed. The historical trend on revenue page displays these high bars, but again, this only reinforces growth in scale, not increased profit. In fact, this chart and associated bullet points betray any positivity that they are trying to convey thanks to the advanced received balance trend line, as this trend line represents the order payments for merchandise that Cover has backlogged by 3 to 6 months since these orders haven't been shipped. We are only on page 6 and there is a ton of info and data to get to. Join me in part 2 as we examine the costly expenses that have stunted Cover Corporation's growth.